Tonight we're gathering around the bonfire for one final Summerween conversation. We've spent the summer watching movies, competing in cabin challenges in our Discord, celebrating horror, and creating some wonderfully chaotic memories with our community, including actually full body paint. Now that the smoke is beginning to clear, we want to slow things down and spend some time together outside of our usual review format. We're going to just catch up on what life has been like this summer. I want to know what you did last summer. Revisit some of our favorite moments from Summerween, open the mailbag, answer some questions from our listeners, and we're also going to look ahead at what's coming next for our podcast once we leave camp behind. So pull up a log, settle in beside the fire, and join us for the Summerween Bonfire. My name is Chris. I'm your friendly neighborhood slasher enthusiast, and this week I'm joined by the classic horror connoisseur, Sean.
I never drink wine.
And the paranormal paramour, Binks.
If I have any more fun today, I don't think I'm going to be able to take it.
Folks, obviously, summer has been different for us. This is the first year that we've taken a break without really taking a break by experimenting with new things and allowing ourselves to discover new approaches to our content and also reconnect with different parts of our lives. But I think this is an important moment to just reflect on what life has been like for the past couple months.
Yeah, it's been quite the summer. It's been a very hot summer in South Florida.
Has it literally been a hot ghoul summer?
A hot ghoul, sweaty ghoul summer. All right, I'm not afraid to say it.
Oh, yeah, it has been definitely super hot for sure. Honestly, I haven't done like a whole lot of crazy stuff this summer, unfortunately. I've been working a lot this summer, trying to hit some concerts before the end of the summer. Gonna go see Rob Zombie tomorrow. Trying to catch some movies. Obviously, we've been talking about all the different like summer horror movies, so we've been kind of watching all those. It's funny, we just talked, or we just recently did the Jason ranking, and then like a couple days later, I saw that like they bundled all the Friday the 13th for $12. So I was like, you know what? I might as well snag that digital bundle.
But is it every single Friday the 13th, or is it like the main ones and then Freddy versus Jason are separate?
Yeah, it's like the main ones that go all the way to, I think, Jason Goes to Hell. And then that's it. It's like $12. But it's still a lot of movies for $12, like 8 movies.
I've been itching to get, and this has been for years, and I've for some reason never fucking pulled the trigger, the Scream Factory collection of the entire box set for Friday the 13th. I need to look up right now if that's still available, because that has been something that's been like, very deeply on my mind. Oh yes, I can still get it. There's only 16 left in stock. I should do that. Listen, life has been, what is a movie where David Spade, I think as a child actor, it says like it's knucking futs. That's been life lately. Binks, I think you can relate.
That.
Yeah,
love that. Yep, I sure can.
I think personally, what I found very fulfilling this summer is just how much this community has really bound together. Part of, I think, where I've needed a little bit of a break has been my dad's facing some health things that I don't want to go into a lot of detail about, but it's certainly opened up a lot of wounds. And, I think when you get to a certain point in life, you have to pause and just like really let yourself feel your feelings and process things, as we have tended to do on this podcast. But what I think is really cool is that having the fun with both of you, experimenting with new and different episodes, getting to make all of the tier lists that we have, all the rankings that we have, really seeing our community come together in our Discord server, that has been fucking phenomenal. It's like it really filled my cup in so many ways. I started playing video games again. Holy shit. I forgot I actually like those things.
You do. And you're good at it. You're a Phasmophobia queen.
Dog, I'm like level 100 in Phasmophobia. I've been playing less than 2 months.
That's wild.
I wasn't ready for us to be in the triple digits.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was getting carried there for a while, but now I can do the carrying.
Nice.
That's awesome. Awesome.
But I think it's really special. And I think it's a bigger testimony to like what we have and like what our community has built over now almost 10 years. So next year is going to be our 10th anniversary. And even in life's craziest fucking moments, this has continued to be an area of life that I think has poured a lot into me personally. So I just want to thank you both for that.
Thank you for having us. I mean, absolutely. It's funny because even, I don't know if you feel this way, Sean, but sometimes I just stop and think like, wow, we've been here for a few years now. Like that's That's crazy. I also feel like I just joined yesterday, and then other days I'm like, wow, we've been on this ride for a bit and it's been great. I think I definitely have had quite the fucking summer. Mercury retrograde, not to be such a paranormal paramour right now, but I do believe it because I definitely faced it and that was brutal. And honestly, what kind of rejuvenated me, similar to you, Chris, was like just jumping in the Discord. And sometimes I wouldn't really respond, I'll be honest. And I do want to be better about that. But I'm watching and I'm reading and I get a laugh. Like I'll just listen and I'll to what people are saying, read through the comments, laugh to myself when I'm at doctor's appointments or in between meetings and things. And man, every one of our listeners are just funny as hell, man. Like this whole camp war thing, the color war thing was so fun to watch. And I really just enjoy the community that you, Chris, have definitely started and fostered and we've all contributed to now. So it definitely has helped for the hard times of having to pay thousands of dollars to remove mold in your house and, having to pay for a new car and all of the adulting things that happen when you're in your 30s.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone has ever had as much consecutive car issues as you have in the past 60 days.
I hope that no one does. Actually. And this week was the mold remediation. So trust me, it's almost evolved from car to now, oh, my house is a danger zone. But we're doing good, folks. And now I have wisdom teeth surgery next. So really, we're on the up.
I think you've been hexed.
I know. There's so much going on there.
I think I've been hexed. I need to do a cleaning and a whole egg thing to myself, as it turns out.
A plague on both your houses.
Christ, really. But everyone's humor on the Discord is what's getting me through. So please don't stop. Please, seriously, don't stop.
You know what? Life be grim, but sometimes our sense of humor is be grimmer. And that's really what gets us through. I do have one last update, which is kind of fucking wild and a little unexpected. And I'm very, very happy about it. My nephew has moved in with me for his senior year of high school. And okay, another Chris Rojas. Now there's two of us living in the same place and it's fucking hilarious. And just earlier he was like, hey, let's figure out your fucking TikTok because what the hell are you doing with that? I can help you with that. And it sounds like he's going to be the infernal intern, Chris.
That's awesome.
Love that so much. We need the youth. Help us out. The youth will get us through when it comes to social media.
He was saying some things and I'm like, man, you're a really good kid. You're so nice for helping me with this. Thanks for not being a jerk about it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome news.
Bro, I came home the other day and he had my kitchen clean. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing.
Dang, what kind of kids are these, man? I tell you, in high school, senior year of high school, I wasn't cleaning a goddamn kitchen. I can tell you that much.
He's so grateful. Okay.
Awesome.
This is and I'm sorry, I'm going to move on after this. This kid got into my closet and I gave him half of my closet and he organized my shirts by nice non-horror, all my horror shirts, then all my regular shirts. And then within the horror shirts, he categorized it by franchise, sleeve type, color, and even made it organized from most shirts to least shirts within the franchise. So Halloween, then Black Christmas, then Terrifier, all the way down to my random ones. This kid's fucking great.
That's awesome. I'm with the shirt organization because I have all of my band shirts hanging in alphabetical order. I have my horror shirts separated into one segment. I don't have it by franchise. I don't think I have enough to separate by franchise for horror exactly. I have ones of a lot, but I definitely respect the organization.
I have to ask, he must be an earth sign, right? Or maybe an Aquarius.
He's an Aries.
The options. An Aries. Oh, okay. I sometimes I'm really hard on Aries because they really could be organized, but they're also very good at delegating. So I sometimes forget that they are capable of just doing it themselves.
Yes.
Maybe that's where it comes in with him asking me what I'm doing with my TikTok. But yeah, I mean, we got to do his full birth chart. One other thing that I found really exciting, and I think this is just such an exciting moment. You all are familiar with the good Lord Barnes and Noble. So I went on a hunt the other day. I found a Barnes and Noble exclusive. You all know how I'm a fucking hoe for some horror movie novelizations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. What you get?
A 2018 Halloween leather hardcover.
Nice.
And I got it on a sale with her 50% off.
Whoa.
I highly recommend you go fucking get this while you can. This is going to go onto my shelf next to the illustrated novelization I have of the original Halloween. So listen, Summerween is winding down. We're getting into the spooky season, and the retailers are stepping it up.
Gotta love
Awesome.
it. Good old Barnes and Noble.
But looking into Summerween and all that has gone down, we have done some stuff. So we kick things off with the Purge Anarchy to ring in, although the Purge doesn't take place during 4th of July. It feels very 4th of July coded. Then we got into our Summerween starter pack, Evil Dead Burn, our draft list of our best summer horror movies. We then finally got to Deep Blue Sea. We did a summer camp slashers tier list. And of course, we made our definitive Jason Voorhees ranking.
We
It was
did.
fun.
It was stacked. Yeah, it was fun. It was stacked.
It was fun. I think I got actually a lot of positive feedback from friends that really enjoyed the Jason Voorhees ranking. I think they all were in unison that they were like unsure how we got to our number one ranking. It was the law of averages. I was like, this is what happens. And so many people have said you have to do Michael Myers. So it has to happen.
It's going to happen. We're going to do it. I am actually very excited for when September comes around and we start talking about Halloween the game. But Michael Myers for sure. We have to see when we're going to release it during the month. I don't know if we want to do it just for Halloween or just earlier in October. But I can absolutely see a world in which I get fucking annihilated emotionally for having to rank these guys. It's going to be tough. I'm going to have to say bad things about Michael Myers that I never really want to say.
And I'm just going to get annihilated for who knows. I'm just another franchise where I'm going to get flamed, I'm sure. We need to also do the watch party or whatever we want to do about Resurrection.
Yeah.
We need to get this recorded. Everyone's talking about me needing to see it, and I'm just like, I'm scared because what if I don't like it? What if I love it? What if I shock you all?
I think what we're going to have to do is just do the watch along episode that we plan on doing, but we'll have to make sure that we make a video version of it so that people can see your wild fucking face when you see what happens in this movie.
Oh God, I'm so scared. I'm excited though. We did have some great content for Summerween. I really enjoyed the Jason Voorhees ranking though. Shockingly, maybe to some. That was a really fun one to do. And the Summer Camp Slashers tier list, I've already started. I watched, was it Final Girls? The one with the like, they're in the movie. That one was actually really funny. I enjoyed that one a lot.
It's a good
It was
one.
super cute. It was super cute. And something that I was really proud of, and we'll actually circle back to that tier list in just a moment, thinking about like the draft that we did. We had a trivia night in our Discord. And something that we've actually done is transformed our Discord server into Camp Hacker Slash. And we had a red cabin and a blue cabin. They got to think of their own mascots. They each had their private chat. We had the red cabin Pearls from Pearl in the X franchise. And we had the blue cabin Mothmen.
Nice.
Shout out to the camp counselors, Chell and Nathan, who brought their teams together. We had Meat hosting Mystery Theater. Nathan, when I had a bunch of crazy stuff happen in a week, stepped in, actually hosted like a whole Twilight Marathon watch party. Absolutely fucking iconic. So we had all this going on, and we actually capped Summerween in our Color Wars challenge with a bit of trivia. And when I tell you that the people did their homework, one of the questions I made was to write 2 lines of lyrics from the song that Angela Baker sings in Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers. Shout out to Banshee in our Discord, who put the whole team on her fucking back and was the trivia MVP, not only with perfect attendance for every event in Summerween, but she wrote the lyrics to the whole damn song. And people were actually citing Final Girls. And so there were actually Final Girls specific questions in the trivia night. Absolutely incredible. Like, I was blown away by how much everybody showed up, not just for the podcast, but like for each other to support their team. I mentioned earlier we had full body paint. Our dear patron Lucas in our Discord actually painted his skin blue to get cabin spirit points for his team.
I'm still thinking about that picture. That was
Whatever
wild.
it takes. Whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. As of this episode recording and posting, we actually have a few days left still of the competition and the Color Wars in Camp Hacker Slash. So our official winner is going to be announced on August 31st. But let me tell you, the Red Cabin pulled away by winning trivia, and they have a significant lead.
Wow.
Lucas is going to keep showing up in blue paint.
I know. What are we
Sounds
going
like.
to do?
I really love that. But spirit. I'm here for it.
some of the other things that we've seen from across our entire community has been an outreach, not just in Discord and just the chatter that we've had, but what was also encouraging as we've been experimenting with different types of content. It's been people reaching out and appreciating the Summerween list. Like we got a bunch of comments on those episodes across Spotify, YouTube, etc., thanking us for a Summerween list because while they've thought about Summerween, they haven't celebrated it properly. And so we had a few folks reach out, like Mike, for example. He said, listen to your Summerween episode. Today we're celebrating with a barbecue, watermelon carving, scary games, and movies. We decorated for the summer season.
Nice.
Being Sean, if you look in our DMs, he actually sent videos of what his household looked like and how his kids were celebrating. They also did like a 16 movie bracket that the party guests voted on for a week, and they narrowed it down to 4 movies that they were going to watch. He sent pictures of the jack-o'-melon carvings. Like it was
That's
such
awesome.
fucking incredible Summerween spirit. It was inspirational, and he sent a link to a playlist that they made for the event.
Wow.
Wait.
Love it.
How do we get invited to the barbecue
Come
next
on,
year?
Mike. Come on, Mike. Invite us.
That's awesome. I'm so jealous. What a
freaking cool.
vibe.
What?
Okay, I think we got to do it. Sean, you have to host a barbecue next year. Sorry.
We got to do a Summerween barbecue. We'll do it. We'll make it happen. Dang, that sounds
Awesome.
fun. That's a good idea. And we have to do the watermelon carving for sure.
Watermelon carving. How have I never even... What?
Jack-o'-melons.
That's brilliant. I love watermelon. That's amazing. How have I never thought of that for that exact reason? I don't think I've done Summerween properly. With what time? I mean, the scaries have happened for sure, but the celebratory part is the part that we've been missing here. I haven't even decorated this house yet. This is very unlike me, folks. This is very unlike me.
I just went out to Target the other day and started to get some decor. Thankfully, my nephew was like, listen, if you just finance and give me the resources, I will decorate your house. Like, fuck yes, please.
Oh my
This is the
gosh.
dream come true.
Everyone needs a nephew, Chris Rojas, as it turns out.
Yeah.
As it turns out, everyone needs one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He arranged my like tapered bleeding candles on my island, and we got like snake holders for them. It's fucking sick.
I also don't know if okay, now we're talking about a really type A Aries. That rising's giving Earth sign. There's something there that's just not. Now we're getting real serious. That's very type A stuff. I love it.
We'll follow up on the birth chart.
You got to know more. Yeah, it is time to start decorating, isn't it? I got a bunch of shit you guys already saw. I'm probably looking at going out for some more hauls soon because I think there's some other places that are starting to trickle in with some stuff.
You are insanely. We don't talk about this enough. You are insanely good at acquiring like some top tier Halloween decor. Okay, because let's also run it all the way back to the beginning of the summer when you copped that Cracker Barrel witch.
Oh yeah,
lamp.
I can't
I
wait
need to
to
remind
bust
you
that
of
thing
that
out.
gold.
The witch lamp,
That's-
dude, that thing is sick. I have a whole new like area because we bought this from behind like the dining room table. We bought this like really long, really nice looking piece of furniture that's actually a dog kennel. So they can like go in there with beds and eat and lay, but the whole top is basically like it's like a piece of furniture. I don't know what you call it, like a table of some type.
Countertop kind of
Countertop type of thing. So I've got so much space I can put so many things on that thing now. You know, I could start like a whole spooky village set if I wanted to. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Hell yeah.
That's
I
really
love that.
cool.
One other thing that I've began picking back up now that I'm so committed to actually getting more fucking shelves in my household, I still have a whole collection of unopened NECA figures. And I picked up the Welcome to Derry Ultimate Bloody Pennywise.
Nice.
You know the one where he had been submerged in blood and it's just the top
Yeah.
part of his face is exposed. I'm so
That's
fucking
cool.
excited. I'm going to do something during the spooky season where maybe I do some like live unboxings of them and just like really revel in the glory that is that. And one of those figures is a Halloween Resurrection figure.
It's awesome.
Okay, I'm ready for that. This is sounding like TikTok content. What do we know? I guess we have to run that by the Infernal Intern, but that's sounding like some fun content to me. I heard that there was another message on Instagram that speaks to me personally from J.E. Mendez 1212. Okay. And the reason I want to talk about this is because it references something that I feel passionately about, and that's piranha. Okay. He said, "Oh my God, I hear you talking about Piranha. Yes, but I only saw the OG 80s version." Okay, well, All right, that's fair. No one could convince me that we did not have piranha in Miami. I didn't go in the water for a solid summer. Listen, J.E. Mendez, I see you. I see you. I acknowledge you. And same, because although, I'm talking about the 90s one really, but regardless, I was convinced that there were piranhas in any body of water. Tell me a lake. Tell me a fucking pool. Tell me a beach. I saw those little piranhas. I said, hell to the fuck nah. It was a really traumatizing summer as a child. I mean, I learned how to swim in, God, what's it called? That little lagoon in Coral Gables. It's escaping me now. I mean, it's a natural, like, coral pool, and I was petrified of any fish, but specifically the piranhas. The potential for piranhas? Hell no.
The little fish are swimming by your toes. You're like, no, the piranhas.
The piranhas. I knew what the piranhas looked like, and yet somehow my brain was like, no, bitch, they're all piranhas, no matter what.
Yeah, you got to watch out for piranhas, man. Man, I don't know piranhas are wild. When I lived in Hawaii, we played in these little, like, we had, my neighbors had, it was like a crawfish farm. So, like, you would run through, like, these ponds, but they'd have, like, little thin strips of land. And I just remember, like, running through that and playing and always wondering, like, is this the day that I'm going to fall in and get, like, eaten by crawfish, Because those things will pinch your ass. They will, like, hang off your skin. It's bad, You got to watch out for those things.
They're also kind of nasty looking. I just had to look one up again because when I think of crawfish, I think of, like, full-on crawfish boils. So it's just a lot of red and yellow in, like, a big bowl.
But when alive, I'm really looking they're nasty.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dots going on there. It's a little traumatizing. It's a bit
terrible.
Much.
But we gotta really take a moment to reflect on a good old line from the film The Little Mermaid. Darling, it's better, down where it's wetter, take it from me. And we couldn't stop with the piranhas. We also had a lot of commentary on Deep Blue Sea, Binks.
We did. And that one was another one too that I really enjoyed. I was out in the ocean recently and I thought of our episode of Deep Blue Sea. I looked around and I said, if there are some AI-generated sharks around here or some shit, it's game over for us. It's a wrap. It was a wrap. Madam Morrington said, literally one of my all-time favorite movies. I saw it in a packed house opening night, and the crowd reactions were immaculate. And I'm actually very envious of that because that would be quite the theatrical experience, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Deep Blue Sea was definitely something that I watched at home. In Texas. did not see that in theaters. We did not go to the movies for that one.
I'm sure it would have been a wild time when it came out in theaters, I bet it would have been fun for sure.
I mean, imagine Samuel L. Jackson's speech and just like that kill alone, the rupture of like, holy shit, that must have happened in that theater. Mm-hmm. Damn. That's a good time.
Yeah, we also had, just thinking about Deep Blue Sea, and I love that you bring up Samuel L. Jackson specifically, because Audrey commented on Spotify for this episode, definitely saw and preferred Deep Blue Sea to any of the Jaws films. Funny enough, it was also my introduction to Samuel L. Jackson and LL Cool J, to which I say, Audrey, what a fucking introduction.
That is cool. That is quite the introduction for sure.
Whoa.
That is a good one. I don't know when my introduction to LL Cool J was. I know Samuel L. Jackson was Pulp Fiction for sure, but LL Cool J, I'm trying to think.
Man, yeah, I don't know. Maybe from one of my Now CDs, to be honest with you.
My God, maybe.
LL Cool J for sure was a musical introduction for me, but after the music and before Deep Blue Sea, it was Halloween H2O.
Of course.
That's fair. Oh, actually, no, I had to look it up. I think I remember the sitcom In the House, because that did play. That was a part of the schedule. I remember as a kid it was WB at the time. Then it became My 33 and now CW and all that. But I do recall watching In the House, didn't understand a goddamn thing. I was obviously way too young. But I remember having that on, and that was like the era of like Martin and all these other like sitcoms that they were playing. So that might have been it. It sounds like it would be. If not, definitely one of my Now CDs. But that's a ride. And by the way, props to that incredibly hot take saying that Deep Blue Sea over any of the Jaws films. That was bravery to say. And I respect it.
I mean, I'm kind of with it.
Really?
Yeah, Jaws gets the credit that it deserves for being as impactful and influential as it was. But when it comes to the sheer fuckery and fun of shark movies, Deep Blue Sea is way more fun than Jaws. Personally, that's for me. Is that going to stop me from getting the hardcover edition of Jaws at Barnes & Noble? Absolutely not. It's not going to stop me. I'm here with you, Audrey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe Jaws 3. It's fucking campy enough to maybe just be as fun. Cool J makes Deep Blue Sea better, though.
I'm telling you. Well, I also posed the question in Evil Dead Burn if it would be fun to be a Deadite. And there was some good answers for sure. Fecking Hell said, Sean asked, so let's see what everyone thinks. My first question, though, is how much free will I actually have as a Deadite, which is it's a good question. Am I in control just with Deadite powers, or is the possessing entity mostly in charge? If I'm in control, it would be lit. But if not, then why would I want to be trapped in mind hell? I totally get that. Like, that's a fair assessment. Like, you do want to ask the questions. Are you going to be able to have any fun doing this? You know what I mean? Or are you just going to be overrun?
What do we think the answer is, though? Because I think my answer is you are possessed and not in control.
Yeah, I think that's like kind of where I might lean to it. But then I think maybe if you just kind of like, you just let it happen, then maybe you can become one with it and you can actually have some fun. You know, we see some Deadites that have a lot of fun. Then we see like even Bruce at times fighting, you know, like he becomes Deadite, then he fights back and he comes back and you know what I mean? And it's a back and forth. So maybe it's just about like if you just choose to let it happen.
You know, that's fair, because we think about Evil Dead Burn and this poor woman who got riggedy wrecked and turned into a Deadite because her fucking boyfriend could not do anything to interfere or protect her. And then she had some petty ass remarks coming back to him. And you know, it can't be all Deadite. That can't be all entity. You got a little bit of that dog in you. And that dog is bitter.
Got that dog in you. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And we got some other ones too. Trashbag said not being in control, just your consciousness watching from the sidelines would be absolutely horrific. But if you were the demon possessing, hell yeah, that would be awesome. It's like going on a joyride in a stolen car. If you crash it, the host dies, just hop into a new one.
All the pros, none of the cons.
I like that logic. You know, you're just having a good time. Hop around and get down. Calamine Lube has the greatest, one of the greatest names, but also the greatest comment here. It's like a college blackout, but you get to crawl on the ceiling. I'm down. Like that's, you know, that's the kind of energy we're looking for here, you know?
Wow. That's the kind of energy I'm so happy to see exists in our subreddit, hacker/pod. And that's the energy we need more of in that subreddit. Calamine Lube, fucking incredible. I am so glad you want to crawl on the ceiling.
Let's all crawl on the ceiling. It sounds like a great time.
That's an insanely well put analogy, because you saying it out loud, I instantly was taken back to those times. And how cool would it be to just be crawling on the ceiling, college blackout, Malibu rum, just like by the gallons? No, it'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Well, Sean, you posed that question, but as it turns out, our community has some questions for us. First one up here from our listeners: has discussing movies on the podcast changed how you watch them?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think, of course, it kind of does, but I think it just depends. Like for me, if I know I'm watching a movie for the podcast, I definitely am watching it in a whole different light. Like I'm definitely trying to pull things out because I have to be intentional about finding what my quote's going to be, or how many kills are happening, and what all the significant events, and what my favorite scene is going to be. And I'm thinking through all this stuff, right? And trying to think of like, what did I like? What did I didn't like? Whereas the difference is I can still go into a movie if my mind isn't focused on watching the movie for the podcast, I can still go into the movie kind of chill, and I can watch the movie and I can reflect on it afterwards. But I think there is definitely a trigger that happens if I know I'm watching it for the podcast. Because it's been a ton of times where I go to watch a movie and I'm like, hell yeah, I watched this movie. And then like for some reason, 2 weeks later or something, we're like, hey, we're doing this movie. And I'm like, fuck, I don't remember anything. I got to watch it again.
Yes, that has also happened to me, especially that I'm like a serial opening night type of person. But I've just, at this point, started to write notes just in case. I'm like, you know what? Let's just put them in there. Just in case that we cover it. Who knows? Because we can't cover them all, like we eventually will. But yeah, I'm with you. I think that what I'm really grateful for about the pod, amongst many other things, is like, it's changed the way that I just like consume media. Like my media literacy is just on a different level, because I feel like growing up loving movies, I've always wanted to talk about them, but I've never really quite known exactly how to put my thoughts into words. Like sometimes, sure, and I would, make stupid YouTube videos when I was younger and all that, but like, I was a child. But like now that it's like structured and you're like asking the questions, and like Sean, you were saying, we have to kind of like pull things out of the movie to then speak on it. It's changed the way that I can now like go and talk about any movie at this point. Like I've even applied as a result, right? Like I've applied this kind of frame of thinking when I consume anything that isn't even just horror. So it's definitely changed the way I think of them. I think my movie taste has changed insanely. I used to not really like gore at all, and then Terrifier happened. So there you go. It's definitely made the difference for sure.
Taste for the blood. We're going to be like 90 years old doing an episode, and we're like, you see, we got to the last horror movie on Earth.
Oh my God. If we have the discipline to do that, incredible. Love that. Maybe another 80 years. It's been 84 years. Man. Okay. So here's the thing. I grew up the youngest sister of an English teacher, and she is someone who, and I think this is so fantastic about the influences she has had on everybody in our family. She has like really made media literacy such a cornerstone of just like the way that we think and discuss things. We can't do a lot of like surface level conversation in my family. It's got to be a little bit more to that. But what I think is really cool about the experience of just like watching movies separately from the podcast, but then the more complete experience watching it for the podcast and hearing the diversity of thought from our audience. I think there are a lot of podcasts out there who go in and they're either the most knowledgeable people on the genre, on the film specifically, etc. And then there are some people who just want to riff and have fun, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The type of show that we are is just more about like the experience of it. And we are all different people at different places in our lives with different levels of attachment to the horror genre. And that is what I think has made it really special. So I think I've absorbed so much more through osmosis and just learning about the perspective from each of you, that I think I've been able to think more about movies or reach more deeply into things.
Yes, I get exactly what you mean. I really do appreciate that we're not in an echo chamber on this pod, with the same exact taste, because that's just not interesting. And as a result, you guys have been able to convince me about a lot of movies that even at first I was like not into, but then you've given more perspective. And then I'm like, okay, like, I mean, honestly, obviously Evil Dead is the one I'm thinking of in the top of my head, because I've definitely appreciated that franchise, the first two specifically, more, with time. But that's awesome that you saw It Ends. That's a perfect, like really good example. I'm seeing that people feel very dicey on it. So it makes sense.
Listen, as a Capricorn, that shit hit. It feels like very representative of every relationship I've ever had in my life. So that probably sounds really fucking toxic now. Now, our next question is actually super timely. I'd like to answer this one first. Who was your first horror crush? And I want to talk about this from my first horror crush and my last horror crush, because both of them are no longer with us. One, I know. One, Olivia Hussey. She was in the original Black Christmas, 1974. She was also in the original Romeo and Juliet. She was also in the Stephen King's It miniseries when I was a kid. Like, fucking iconic woman. Such a pure soul, such a sweet soul. And then the only other horror crush that I've had, Hayden Panettiere as Kirby. Hayden Panettiere, like, as her character in Tiger Cruise, was the first time I ever saw her on Disney Channel. And then progressing, like, and watching her, like, Ice Princess, etc. Absolutely fucking devastating. Absolutely devastating. I have been gutted since I saw the news a few nights ago.
Damn.
It's crushing. It's emotionally crushing. Oh my God. I can't even believe it. For a moment there, just in conversation, I almost forgot it even happened. I would love to live in a delusion where she's still here. It's actually and genuinely insane.
That is crazy. Damn.
An icon.
I was actually just thinking about how I want to run back Scream 4. And, I just want to run it back. I want to come back to it. I want to watch Scream 6. And I want to revel in the time that we thought Kirby was gone and she eventually came back. And, like, in my delusion, I just want to cling to this idea and this imaginary and this imagination that Hayden Panettiere is still on this earth.
I know. She was so good in Heroes, too. Oh, my gosh.
In Heroes, Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, guys. My mother gave me a call. She was like, did you see your Heroes, girl? I'm like, mother, please.
Oh, no.
I got woken. I was falling asleep when I got the news. My cousin called me. She was screaming on the phone. It was a whole fucking thing, okay? Heroes was, like, basically my entire life. So, and obviously, I also got the call because of Until Dawn. So now, playing this video game is going to hit a little motherfucking different.
Damn.
Too much. That's a really good one. And I think also I genuinely, when I got the news, I thought of you, Chris, and I forgot to even text you because I think I'm in such delusion, but I'm like, oh shit, you really, like, you talk about Kirby a lot. That's your girl, actually.
That was my girl before she was Kirby. She was super my girl after Kirby.
I know.
Kirby. Man.
Oh my goodness.
God.
Damn, I don't. That's a crazy one. I mean, everyone's crush at this point. Man, that's a good question though, because obviously I famously am in love with so many people. So I don't quite know what would be my first one, because I know that Orlando Bloom wasn't in a horror, and who else did I love growing up as a kid? I mean, Dylan O'Brien, but I guess that's like in a werewolf. No, but he's not even in. He's in a werewolf show. Okay, I got one though. It's actually going to be Ryan Reynolds in Amityville Horror.
Oh, that makes sense.
Thank you, Sean. I know that I've talked about it already at some point on this show for sure. But when I think of my youth and I think of horror and crush, somehow that's what comes to mind, in particular, the V cut, okay? Because every straight girl knows that was an actual awakening, okay? Yeah, that's gonna have to be my pick. Oh, maybe Freddie Prinze Jr. for sure. I know he did last summer.
Yeah.
A hottie. And then because I also was in love with, like, She's All That. It's one of my favorite movies. So I think that was like a duo, like, oh my God, I need this man in my life.
I need a little Freddie Prinze Jr.
I need a little Freddie Prinze Jr. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's going to have to be. And I mean, maybe Brad Pitt in Seven. That also changed my perspective on life. But that Seven's horror, I guess.
It's there. It's like it feels horror. It's really dark and gritty, but that's like really 90s thrillers, you know?
Brad Pitt, yuck. Now, Ryan Reynolds also, I'm looking at you different, buddy. So we're trying to turn a new leaf. That's all I got, I think. Man, but this is a good question. I'm going to keep thinking on this one.
It is a good question. It's definitely, for me, for looking at strictly horror, you think of, the times, probably in the 90s. I think immediately of like Neve Campbell when Scream came out. I think of 100% Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, even. You know what I mean? Like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, these were childhood crushes for sure.
Sarah Michelle Gellar as Cece in Scream 2.
Yeah.
Or Helen Shivers.
I mean, you could pick any of them for sure. Although my all-time crush that's in horror adjacency is Kate Beckinsale in Underworld. Like, hands down the hottest.
God damn, why didn't I pick her?
Literally.
I was first and last. She's somewhere in the middle. I had a crush on Kate Beckinsale in Serendipity with John Cusack.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
Iconic.
I just watched that. I actually watched that twice this year, if you can believe that.
It sounds serendipitous.
Yeah. It's just like we hadn't watched it in forever. And we threw it on and we're like, oh my God, this is such a great movie. And then we were like, yeah, let's watch it again. We found a reason to like watch it again. So we watched it again. And I shit you not, like when we were in New York, we almost tried to go to that cafe or whatever. I don't know if it's still there. I didn't look it up, but
I think you're going to have to watch it again in December.
Yeah, of course. Of course. 100%.
Dang, that's an iconic pick though. That's for sure. Jeez.
Horror crushes are abound and they will continue. Beings, it sounded like you had another idea.
No, you know what it was though? I was actually going to say, I mean, I'm thinking of Queen of the Damned, and Aaliyah really changed something. I think like
So true.
She's just so beautiful. I wanted to be her so bad.
R.I.P.
I
Another one.
avoided Queen of the Damned for so long because I was so heartbroken when she died that I didn't feel like I could watch the film.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Christ.
I saw that shit in theaters.
I can't believe I like deprived of myself of that experience, but I want to watch Scream 4 again for Kirby, but also I feel like I'm going to be wrecked if I watch it. So it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know why I get so attached to this.
It's a whole thing. We grew up with these people. They mean so much to us, like the parasocialness is like, yeah, sure. But it's a little different than that,
It's also, I think for me, it's also just the endless amount of talent and humanity and potential and a life extinguished so soon. It's just fucking devastating. Another question that we got in this batch. What is one horror movie you wish you could watch again without knowing anything about it?
This question is so hard. I feel like this. I think I've been asked this question at least twice, and it's a hard question to answer, and it's hard to think about. You think about like all the movies, your favorite movies. Which ones would you want to see again without knowing anything about going into it?
I have the answer for me that feels easiest, and that is Hereditary, because as you both know, Hereditary was spoiled for me. That's and right. I had to not watch it intentionally for years just to try to forget everything that was told. And then, like fucking clockwork, every September, October's coming up. You're gonna, what about Hereditary? You're gonna watch that? The decapitation? I'm like, Jesus fucking, like, I'm trying to forget about it, guys. I haven't even seen this shit yet. So even though I watched it and I loved the experience of it, although it was a fucking bummer of a time, I so desperately wish I could have just experienced that movie with zero knowledge whatsoever.
That makes sense. I totally forgot that got ruined for you. So that makes total sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah, that's a good pick for that reason. You know what's crazy is I actually was thinking about this exact question, not horror specific, but like what are some movies that you wish you could watch again for the first time? So I actually had wrote some down, but a lot of them are like more thriller, of course, because it's me. But I did put down one that I have talked about on the pod, which is Cure. That's one that is definitely like a mystery, like a plot twist that I think is really good. But then it just has me thinking of all these other like horror films where I just didn't see it coming. Like for me, I think Scream would be a really good contender because Scream is so iconic. It's like, one of the greatest horror films of all time. I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with Ghostface's look. But I think also as a kid, finding out that it was her boyfriend and the best friend at the same time, like feeling so beyond shocked by the reveal is like a thrill that I chase all the time and why I love like thrillers specifically in these like mystery, psychological thriller horror films in abundance. So I think Scream would actually be my like main pick. And then all the other like films that fall under that subgenre for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. I usually look at this question, I think the times that I've answered it, and I think both times I've got this question, I've defaulted to Bride of Frankenstein. And I said that because I think even people who know Universal Monsters tend to underrate the movie because it kind of gets pushed away as like this sequel in like people's memories, I think. But when you watch this movie fresh, I think it's genuinely strange in ways that don't come through when you're just like kind of like trying to describe it, because it is truly like it's funny, it's tragic, it's campy, and I think sometimes it's like it's gotten a little bit more freedom than Frankenstein did. It had a bigger budget, I think, the second time around. So I think that movie is just one that I think it's underrated. So I feel like if I think of all the Universal monsters, that's one of them for sure. But I think this time I want to throw like kind of a curveball, because I think another one that I think I watch, I don't know that I watch it every year, but I watch it quite often. And I do think about like, what would it be like to watch this for the first time? Not only that, what would it be like to actually be able to go to a theater and watch this? And it's The Old Dark House from 1932. It's literally criminally underseen by even Universal completists. It's literally one of my favorite Universal horror movies. It is, it's less of a monster movie. It's more of like this gothic house full of weirdos type thriller. And it plays like literally nothing else from that era. It's such a good movie. And hey, listen, if any of you haven't seen it, then let me know how your fresh take is. I want to hear about it because I truly want to kind of experience that again.
Sounds like we're going to watch this for the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I was just going to say, I'm like, I am super down for this.
Nice. Hell yeah. You gotta love it.
Poster 2 is incredible. What?
It's so good.
Karloff, of course.
Of course.
You also just reminded me when you talked about like how great it would be to see that in theaters. You just reminded me that some of the Halloween films are actually being re-released in theaters.
I saw that. Oh man. Oh
what?
Man. Yes.
The theaters are working overtime.
There's the first 3.
And select screenings are going to have the 4th and 5th as well.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, we saw Halloween in theaters last year together.
It was so good, Sean. That's
which was so cool. Yeah, that was fun. So Halloween 2 would be fun. Season of the Witch would be a time. You know what I mean? Like, man.
I would absolutely just take the day off and watch all 5 of them if I could in theaters.
Right? Just a marathon. Just spend the whole day there.
Yeah. Get a couple blankets, a couple pillows. I got my like snack hoodie from Comfort, so I can just put all my movie snacks in there. We're good. We're set.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Now, reflecting on what we've had this past month or so and thinking about what lies ahead, I think there's a lot that we can take away and really continue moving forward. So, one, holy shit, I loved Summerween and I want to do it again next year. I want to do it even bigger and better next year. Hopefully life will be a little bit more stable for me. But I think one of the lessons is just thinking about the camaraderie in our Discord server and being able to be able to really soak in how connected our community is and what a really special place it is, even outside of conversations about horror movies and even outside of conversations about the podcast at large. This is just a phenomenal group of people. So if you have not joined our Discord yet, if you are someone who maybe doesn't have a lot of folks to talk to about horror in your life, or you're nervous about joining a room where everyone already kind of knows each other, don't even worry about that. You're always welcome. And what I love about this community is that they make everyone feel welcome as well.
It's been really nice. And I feel like with the community that we've built, it's insane to see how much it's grown in just, the short time as well, even this year, right? So I think that when you said the idea of like joining a community in terms of like maybe you don't have friends or anyone in your like real life to kind of talk horror, like this is the perfect like pocket of space and time where you can just like lose it and then clearly participate in some color war action and watch parties and all kinds of crazy chaos that will entertain me when I'm at the doctor's appointments. That's for sure.
Yeah. Listen, these are your people. You found us. It's okay. Come on in. We've been waiting for you this entire time. It was, some might say, serendipity.
Gotta love it. You gotta love it.
We have so much that's coming up. Most immediately, we have Teenage Sex and Death at Kept My Asthma. I'm not going to say Kept My Asthma because it's such a long title and I feel like I'm missing another word there. I'm really, really excited about that one. Paris has already texted me. Incredibly excited. I think she wants to try to be on the episode if possible. We had to see how like scheduling lines up. But she was talking about like how deeply personal this is going to feel for both her and I. And I am not ready emotionally, I think. I was like very excited and now I'm like a little hesitant.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm so beyond excited. There are no words. I have passed the like board of the, I guess like the slasher, right? The villain, or who knows. But I've seen it when I go to my local theater. And I just keep staring at it like I've been wanting this movie for so long. The fact that we don't live in New York or LA is pissing me off. I'm so jealous. Can't wait.
Damn.
Absolutely. Now, coming up after that, we have a 2026 spooky season preview. We're going to announce all the good fun and shenanigans that we will be up to. And without getting into a lot of details and spoiling the surprises, what you can look forward to is nostalgia. You can look forward to healing your inner child. You can look back on the good old days of horror and really just anchor yourself in those memories. We're going to throw back with Freddy's Dead. We're going to throw back with a couple of Halloween movies, A Bride of Chucky, Saw. We have a lot on the horizon that's going to really be so much fun for our community and exploring franchises that we haven't even touched in a little bit. But what I'm also excited about most is what we're doing in terms of like continuing the spirit of experimentation and just having fun with different styles of things. In early September, Halloween the game releases. I'm going to be playing it. Thanks. I'm not sure if you're going to be playing it, but we can play it together if you like. Definitely kind of bonus content and bonus episodes on that, reviewing the game, discussing its fidelity to the movie and how you translate an unstoppable force and the immovable object that is Michael Myers into a game that, from a perspective, you can control, and comparing it to other ASIM horror games specifically. So that's going to be really fun. And then, of course, in October, we have the Crystal Lake TV series. So we're going to be doing episodes on that as well.
Excited for that, for sure. Oh, man. There's some good stuff happening soon.
I love that we're like experimenting as well, because I think that a lot of people have been asking us to kind of comment or give our opinions on TV shows and games that are in the horror sphere. So we're finally giving it to you, and I'm like really pumped about it. I mean, especially with Welcome to Derry, you know, like who knows, guys? You know, if all goes well, season 2 is greenlit, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And we have thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, oh my God, I would love to go back and do Welcome to Derry. But I think the thing that I wasn't expecting was the fact that the Crystal Lake series is going to drop all in one day. So I was originally thinking, okay, we'll do an episode a week. But now it's all dropping in one day. So we got to figure out how we want to navigate that together.
Interesting.
Right? I wasn't ready for that either.
I'm going to binge the fuck out of it. I have that week off of work. I will be committed.
One thing you got to know about me is it wouldn't be the first time that I've binged a show in one day, and it certainly won't be the last.
Stranger Things, where you at?
Exactly. There we go. I'm ready.
We'll absolutely do that. And listen, there's so much to look forward to, but that brings us to the end of our Summerween Bonfire. So seriously, folks, thank you so much to everyone who's watched our videos, who's participated in the color war with our cabins, supported your fellow campers, who send us messages, who've helped make Summerween feel like a genuine community experience. And even in moments in my life where I felt disconnected from people at large, I've still felt so connected to you. And I cannot express my unrelenting gratitude for this. These events are only memorable because you are the ones showing up and you are bringing your enthusiasm. You're bringing your creativity. You're bringing your passion to camp. And even though Summerween's coming to an end, we at this show at Hacker Slash still have plenty in the tank, and we have so much in store for you for spooky season. We're super excited about what's ahead, and honestly, we're just grateful that you all continue to take the journey with us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're joining and just listening to our Summerween episodes and you're having fun with just the conversation that we've been having when we're talking about Summerween, talking about camp slashers, ranking Jasons, all this good stuff, listen, go back and listen to some of our episodes or be excited for some of the episodes that we have coming out for the spooky season, because we have a lot of good stuff coming for you. And if you like that stuff, consider maybe supporting the show. You know, you can visit patreon.com/hackerslash and enjoy all kinds of stuff, including bonus content, early access, extended episodes with B-sides, and you can take part in movie nominations. And we also do live shows.
We'll see you next time, folks. And remember, when you leave a man for dead, make sure he's really dead.
Gin. It's the only thing that keeps me alive.